A lot of people are familiar with the term product market fit, but there's two other P's in the whole equation that you might be overlooking, and if you are, it's going to cause significant disruptions in your GTM strategy. And as we know, GTM is one of the most important aspects of a business. So regardless of if you're a business leader, you're responsible for GTM at your company, or you're just involved in the day-to-day operations of executing the current GTM strategy, this video is going to be relevant for you. And in addition to that, I created a free GTM assessment. This is the same assessment I've used with over 20 businesses that are doing 7, 8, and 9 figures in revenue. And it has helped every single one of them identify gaps and figure out where's the disconnect in our GTM. You can access that for free in the link below in the description. Now, with that said, most companies do not fail because they're building a bad product. They fail because they're building the right thing at the wrong time. So maybe they're scaling sales before they found the right customer, or they're launching their ABM before they know who to target. You get where I'm going with this. It's a stage alignment issue. And that's where our 3 Ps come in. So first we have problem market fit. You're still figuring out what problem you solve, who you solve it for, and how they buy. This is the phase where you're experimenting with different customers, different offers, really trying to figure out what is it that the market needs right now. Number 2, we have the classic product market fit. This is when you have found a problem, you have a solution, you know the buyers, and you're selling to a similar type of customer over and over again. This is a great place to be for any business. Number 3, we have platform market fit. This is where you're scaling across platforms, geographies. It's essentially scaling at all costs. The problem is, if your GTM strategy does not match the correct phase that you're in, it's all going to come crumbling down. It doesn't matter how hard your team works or how good your team is. You have to have these things in alignment. So the problem market fit is the most sensitive stage. You have no defined ICP or buyer journey. You're kind of just winging it on sales calls and coming up with value propositions. Everything's custom from decks to messaging, so you can't productize it and you can't grow it. It's just not repeatable, and therefore it's not scalable. Now, this is a necessary part of every business, but it's a very frustrating part. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to your problem market fit. What you have to do is get as much feedback as possible. And I used to have this problem in my business actually, and I just couldn't figure out what the right offer was. And I got a piece of advice that was pretty life-changing for myself and for my business. I was told, Sam, you're trying to figure out the problem. What you need to do is be told what the problem is by your market, AKA get on more sales calls, DM more people. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. Regardless of if it's you or a sales rep, you need to be getting more and more feedback from the market, because that is the only way to finally learn what your problem market fit is. So for product market fit, you've found traction, but you might not have the structure to support it. Oftentimes, you probably won't have the structure to support it because things will start happening quickly. Your departments might be siloed. There's way too many target sections without clear prioritization. You're tracking metrics like NRR without any sort of organizational readiness. The best thing you can do in the product market fit stage is to align teams, standardize processes, and build repeatable, scalable systems around your best performing segments. Okay, now if you're in platform market fit, you're scaling, but as we all know, scaling creates a lot of complexity. Not all of your products are mature, but they might be getting treated the same. Sales, marketing, customer success, they're all operating on different KPIs with different goals. That's a train wreck waiting to happen, as you've probably experienced once or twice. You might even be running segment-based ABM without any understanding of NRR or profitability for those segments. If this is you need to segment your metrics, you need to align shared outcomes, and you need to optimize for efficiency and expansion, not just activity. So the goal of this assessment is clarity at the end of the day. It's clarity, alignment, and focus. What parts of the business are working? What parts are we guessing for? And are we acting like a platform company that we're still validating the problem? Are we in the product market fit? So on and so forth. You have to get clarity in these things to understand what the actual solution is to the problem. Typically what will happen is the answers across your different departments will be scattered and it'll be different. And that's a sign of growth, but it's also a sign that it is time for you to align. So put simply, you can think of the assessment as a mirror for your business, but the difference is it's just giving you clarity on something that you cannot see because you're too close to the problem. So you can start with the stage you selected, and you need to ask yourself, does this stage truly reflect how we're operating? So for example, if you said problem market fit, do you have a clearly defined ICP and a single repeatable sales sales motion? If not, then this is the correct stage. If you said product market fit, can you sell the same thing to the same type of customer in a repeatable format? And can you keep them? If yes, then this is the correct stage for you. If not, you might be in the previous stage. If you're in the platform market fit, is your growth coming primarily from expansion and customer lifetime value, or is it coming from specifically net new logo acquisition? This is something you need to ask yourself. Now, where it gets really interesting is comparing different assessments and answers across your entire team, because I promise you the teams will respond in a different way. And if the answers are all over the map, it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative. It's an opportunity to start a conversation and get in alignment. So a couple of things you need to ask yourself to get really clear here. Are we building too much complexity too early? This is a problem that you'll often run into in the product market fit, because you have this repeatable process and you want to speed things up, and then you can add a lot of complexity that can mess the whole thing up. Are you tracking advanced metrics that you can't influence yet? For example, this is something with product market fit where someone might be obsessing over NRR, or customer lifetime value, without the systems to make sure that they're in place. Are you treating all of your products like they're mature? Even if some aren't, this would be a platform market fit. At the end of the day, your go-to-market strategy is one of the most important things you can do. So like I said at the beginning, if you're a business owner, this is helpful. If you're an employee that you're responsible for GTM, bring this to your team, because it will get so much clarity on the situation. At the end of the day, we're all trying to figure out the best way to tackle GTM strategy. I know for a fact that if you can align and figure out which part you are in the 3P section, you're going to greatly speed up the process, avoid a lot of errors, increase your revenue. Basically, everything is going to be better. So take the assessment. It's 100% free. You can get it in the description.